They don't call us front burner for nothing. Welcome to The Spark. I'm Jay Kozar with my co-host, Kendra Morvillo, and today we're here to talk about keeping up the heat.
Today we're going to talk about keeping up the heat, which we've talked about our values before. That's one of our 5.
My favorite.
Obviously your favorite.
Yep.
Growth director. That's super important.
Let's push it forward.
Yep. And you are always pushing, right?
I'm pushing so much that I feel like I might push you out of the office or wherever you are, like push your phone out of your hands.
Yeah.
Your device is gone.
You like to move forward.
Yep.
But I think, and I think that's part of the whole nature of front burner marketing is that we have to push forward constantly. And that's why it's so valuable for our clients and for our team. Keeping up with the heat is literally everything about our brand.
It's exactly how Jan started the company.
Exactly.
At the time, SMBs, people that she knew, people that she was working with, she'd ask about their marketing and it was always put on the back burner, which is why that's such a bad phrase in our office. That's like, if you say that and you work for us, you might leave that day.
That's right.
That might be the
we
last
separate
thing.
on values. Don't doubt it.
Yeah. I'm always pushing, but the reality is this has to start somewhere.
Yep. And I like to be the opposite to you.
Yeah.
Which is, I love forward motion. I love growth, but it has to be smart and it has to be planned and it has to be based on history and data. And so I'm a foundations girly. We like to look back at where we came from before we plan our growth forward. And so I like to think of my 8th grade social studies teacher had a sign on the wall and it said,
out. What's the name?
Mr. Paulus. What's up, Mr. Paulus?
Shout out, Mr. Paulus.
Yep. Those that know will know. And it said, those who do not remember the past are condemned to repeat it. And so if we're going to learn and we're going to grow and we're going to grow fast in any kind of way and really be successful, I think that we have to take that beat to look back and analyze where we came from, things that we've missed, identify holes in what we've done or mistakes we've made, missteps. Or wins. Let's not forget.
Well, it sounds like there's a reflection period that happens during this process.
Yes. And I think that we are trying to build processes or have built processes where we start with that so that we can move forward successfully, so that we can keep up the heat. I don't think you start a race at a full sprint. I think I'm not like an out of the blocks kind of gal. I'm going to take that lap. I'm going to take that foundational lap.
Foundation. So questions you would be asking would be questions such as what's worked in the past?
Yes.
What are you doing with your marketing?
Always.
Okay. How is it performing?
You don't onboard with us without getting asked those questions. And I think if you hire an agency that does just jump in and start doing what they think is right, that's a red flag.
That is a red flag.
Yeah.
I mean, you should be looking at competitor analysis.
They're not trying to keep up the heat. They're trying to burn it down.
Burn it down and just take your money. But yeah, competitor analysis, gap analysis, SWOT analysis, all the analysis.
Yes.
Can give you a foundation.
Yes.
So that you can, keep up the heat and have a path forward.
Yeah. And we use all sorts of tools for that, right? Outside of our humans, which are also super valuable.
Love our humans.
Yeah, we have excellent humans with a really broad background. And so they all get involved and look at what has happened in the past and where we could go in the future. And then we also use a lot of tools, obviously. You named some, analysis, but we actually use tools for that.
Oh, gotcha.
We have tools.
We do have a lot of tools. So you're on the foundation and I'm always pulling you in a different direction, looking for opportunities. Pushing always. But so keeping up the heat for me is identifying opportunities for growth.
Yes.
So utilizing tools such cutting edge tools, bleeding edge tools. We don't have to be on the bleeding edge all the time. I know Jan loves to be on the bleeding edge.
She does.
Go to a conference, 8 tools. Figure out how to utilize these tools. Everybody gets a tool.
Yep.
Oprah. Everybody's getting a tool. But we definitely can be on the cutting edge.
Yeah.
And we can be looking to find opportunities with our tools. I mean, there are tools. So people are afraid to do podcasts.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Here we are.
Yep.
Right? Keeping up the heat.
Yep.
This is something that we have to do when we tell our clients all the time. Hey, if you want to build your brand, you should really find your voice and be a subject matter expert and get out there and do podcasts.
Yeah.
And then we got called out on it.
Totally. And
so here we are.
And we don't have to be the absolute forefront. We don't have to be the first, but we can't be the last.
Yeah. No, I totally agree with that. I also think, there's platforms, there's tools out there that can make you an avatar. You know, if you want to start small,
J-A-I.
you can do this. Yeah, JAI. Yeah, real funny.
Not all of them work.
No, they don't. But be trying those things.
Yeah, that's keeping up the heat.
That is keeping up the heat.
Yeah, it can be exhausting. It can be hard.
Right.
And we've also learned that when we're keeping up the heat, that you don't want to buy in at the full year. If you're going to try some of this new stuff,
pay more on the monthly subscription.
You just try the monthly, like
it's okay.
Like test it out for a minute and see if you actually use it.
We
learned it the hard way.
Well, it's okay for it to fail. Also, it's okay to try tools and
absolutely
give it a good push. And if it's not delivering what you need, there's another tool out there.
Absolutely,
and that's trying.
And you learn what you like and what you don't, and they're coming out all the time with new things that can help us that enable that keep up the heat attitude.
So another part of keep up the heat in my role is talking to prospects, talking to clients, and they have a lot of, here's what we're doing now. Here's what we've done in the past. So that really falls into your court, right? Mm-hmm. To analyze. Okay, great. You've been doing these things, but do these things work? Mm-hmm. Right? So I like to look at this and go, I don't want to provide you a 1-for-1 quote to come work with us because I don't know if what was happening before worked.
And we don't do the same thing.
Where did your budget go?
Yeah.
Right. Or, once a great thing is when you come back and go, hey, these things work. We can continue and we can evolve those. That's awesome. But looking at the whole landscape, looking at everything in the digital marketing toolbox and say, you weren't doing this before, but here's a business case to do so. Mm-hmm. We can find a return here. Mm-hmm. Let's go do that thing. Let's do it for a quarter. Let's see what the return is. Is it something that we pivot from, or is it something that we double down on because it worked? The fact is we need to be trying new things, new strategies, and it's limitless. There's so many things out there.
Well, and the game keeps changing, right?
Constantly.
Right? Like, especially for us with digital marketing, the Google algorithm, the, mythical Google algorithm.
It's always changing. That's what we're always told.
Yeah, it's always changing. And you can't be ready all the time for it, but you have to be responsive and you have to be willing to try new things.
Yeah.
Like video, like podcasting, like it used to be just blogging, and then it was like really long blogging, and there was like really short blogging, and then it was evergreen blogging. But like you have to be aware of it. Keep up the heat is that awareness of things that are changing. Like you have to keep your finger on the pulse, which is exhausting and fun.
It is exhausting. And I have a blast with it because, again, I'm pushing and I'm pushing and I'm pushing. But, internally, just to share kind of behind the curtain of who we are and what we do and how we interact. I mean, it's a real thing. We love our humans and they're awesome. New energy, new big energy, keeping up the heat. Love pushing our teammates and being pushed by our teammates to look at things differently.
Yeah.
Collaborate.
Yep.
Let's look at an account on a quarterly, twice a year, biannual basis and look at it with a fresh lens. What's being missed? Are there opportunities that are there for them to grow that I'm just not familiar with? Right. You're not familiar with, right? Let's get those people in a room. I think that's an example of how we keep up the heat for our clients that we currently have in the building. I
agree. And we try to be collaborative. Mm-hmm. We try to make sure that everybody's eyes get on an account at some point because they're going to see something different.
Right.
And those, you never know what's going to quite stick with a certain market. Like we don't niche down to an industry.
Okay.
Which I think is a pretty cool thing.
Go ahead.
It allows, thank you.
Yeah.
It allows us.
It's your time.
It allows us to apply what we learn in one industry to another. And I think that is actually a huge benefit of our agency. I think a lot of efficiencies of scale were like valued, and they're like, oh, we're going to, a lot of agencies, we're just going to do this one thing. We're just going to do financial services. We're just going to do this.
Right.
But then it's rinse and repeat, and you're not innovating. And I think the way that we serve our clients and the clients that we serve allow us to innovate and keep up that heat.
Keep it up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just to piggyback, I don't want to interrupt. Sorry. But to kind of piggyback on what you're saying, I get asked all the time. I talk to prospects and they're like, well, what vertical are you in? Mm-hmm. You're in Northeast Ohio. You must be in manufacturing. Mm-hmm. Do you focus on that? I tell them all the time, the niche that we're looking for are people who want to grow, who want to grow, understand that marketing costs money, takes time. It's an investment. But, people who want to grow, 100%, 200% in the next 3 years.
Yep.
That's exciting. That's keeping up the heat. Not the owner who's like, I grow 5% and, year over year, It's very predictable. That's not going to be a good fit for us.
We also like it's our value, but we also want our clients to have it too.
Absolutely.
It's that mindset that they have.
We will drive them crazy if they want to have 5% growth year over year, and it's okay. We wouldn't be a fit. I would drive them nuts.
Yes.
They would have nightmares.
Totally.
So, I mean, with that, what can you give another example internally? How do we keep up the heat?
I think it's literally not letting things sit. The simplest way we explain it is, if you email me, you're going to hear back within 24 hours, same business day generally.
Right. That's true.
But like, it can't just sit. And it's that forward momentum. It keeps things moving, keeps you moving to the future. Yeah.
You're also building trust. You're also, I like the momentum. I agree. If I can't answer the question, if I'm out of pocket, I still want to be able to, I still respond to the email and let them know that I've received it.
Yeah.
I will get back to you tomorrow. Yeah. Like, set an expectation. Keep the communication open. Sometimes I think when people receive so much email, they kind of become numb to why is it important. Yeah. And sometimes some of the requests that we receive might not on the surface seem to be super important or pressing, but you don't ever know where that request came from.
Yeah.
That simple edit on a website could really be something that is coming from an owner or is just delivering a bad user experience for one of their clients and they're losing business. So understanding and treating all requests that come in equal as well.
I think that line of communication is a real honey hole for growth opportunities, and that growth mindset is that if they say, I don't really like how this blog went, or, maybe, I saw this TikTok I liked. Should I try that? Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Let's go.
So I do think our relationship with our clients and our open communication and them knowing our values and us all being on the same page about that kind of thing does help us grow with them in smart and fun ways too. Like it allows us to find those opportunities for building their business in a different way.
Yeah. I think that the balance that we have of you reflecting and understanding where we came from with myself and others who just want to push, right? And push and push. It really, we hold each other accountable.
I agree.
We hold each other accountable.
It's a yin and a yang.
It is. It is.
You guys are like full gas and I'm like brakes. To wrap it all up today, I think that keeping up the heat is, while it's a little corny because we do a lot of flame references with Front Burner, I think it's super important. I think it gives our clients that feeling that we are there for them. We're going to respond. We're focused on the future with them. We're going to grow. It also gives our team that sense of urgency. And the accountability allows us to like be on the hook.
Corny, maybe. I don't know. Maybe a little. It's definitely us. And I think we're definitely leaning into it. And that's a good thing. But with that being said, we definitely want to thank our audience. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And we'll catch you in the next episode.